Because the sign says you can park here, but they're not on Tuesdays, but you can between 1 and 3, but not if it's the second Monday of the second Tuesday. Yeah. You're like, I don't even know what the sign says. I'm gonna get a ticket.
The curb is green. The curb is green. Green means yes.
Louise is a fitness entrepreneur and YouTuber who has amassed over 400,000 subscribers and 46 million views on her channel in less than 3 years. Her online empire includes 9 team members, a fitness subscription service, her own app for iOS and Android, and multiple digital courses and products. She's also led a tour of live workshop events in Chicago, Anaheim, Nicaragua, Korea, and more. Her tips have been featured in Cosmopolitan, Allure, Shape, and Oxygen, and Fox News. But what I love about her story is the journey to get where she is today. If you know you're entrepreneurial and have tried multiple passions so far, you will love hearing how she finally found her calling and had massive success within this calling.
Thank you for joining me. I'm Kelsey Humphreys here with Rebecca Louise. You guys probably recognize her from YouTube. Thank you so much for being with me today.
No, thank you so much. Honored to be here.
I'm so excited because you have a really interesting story, and I want to go back to before you became who we know now, this amazing fitness expert, and talk about the struggle because you actually had an eating disorder, but then even that was not really the beginning because you were always athletic. You were in sports, you were doing all this stuff. So how did you go from, healthy fitness, doing sports, how did the eating disorder happen, and then how did you get over it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I grew up playing sports. I played, soccer and netball, and I was a field hockey player for the south of England. All throughout any single sports team that you can imagine, I was signing up for it. I wanted to be captain. And when I was around 16, 17 years old, that was kind of when the craze of the size 0 was happening. Do you remember that whole, models on catwalks wanting to be super thin? And I think that the media was very impressionable on me. And it was also something that I could control. I didn't really like school. I didn't like turning up for classes. I didn't like being told when I could and couldn't go to school and what I had to do. I think that's kind of why I'm an entrepreneur now, because you wouldn't be able to employ me because I wouldn't be able to be told when to turn up. So I think the eating disorder for me was, it was more as a control thing. It was being impressioned by the media of having to look a certain way. And then that feeling of okay, the only thing that I can control right now is 16 years old. You live with your parents, you have to go to school. It was the food thing that I could really control. And that was a big part of it for me.
So then how did you overcome that?
Yeah, well, at 18 years old, I moved to London. I moved out of home and I moved on and I, started working in London for a bank, actually. I worked for Citigroup Investment Bank. And I was up and I was doing stuff by myself and I was kind of back in charge of my own life.
Yeah.
And from then on, it was just kind of food really wasn't an issue anymore. I didn't feed my body good nutrition. I knew that working out and exercise was part of the result, but I didn't understand how important nutrition was up until about 5 years ago when I started a nutrition program that changed my life and that really gave me the 80% nutrition, 20% fitness that everybody talks about.
Right. So how did your love for fitness and health sort of develop before that 5-year point? Like you had to start getting an interest. You had always been in sports. Was it maybe you missed being active or what? How did you get interested in it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I played loads of sports growing up as a kid. And then when I moved to London, kind of things slipped out of line, really. I was partying a lot. I was, involved in the wrong crowds. I was still going for a ton of auditions, though. I was a trained dancer, so I'd go for backing dancing, trying to be, I was in a girl band. I was TV presenting, so I would go to loads of auditions, and I got rejected by hundreds. I can't even count, how many times I've been rejected.
I know the struggle.
It is, and that's really kind of what life was all about for me for 5 years, is being told no and no and no and no. And then when I moved to America and saw this, amazing Southern California, people getting healthy and active, it just kind of brought me back to my roots of being okay, this is what I really want to do. I love playing sports. That's what I did. How did I lose that? And how can I help other people maintain that as well?
I love, you mentioned coming over here to the States. You came over here for your commercials pilot license, which you have.
I do.
So how did you ever end up flying? Did you apply? And how
that was, I feel like sometimes in your life you get, thrown these opportunities or a curveball. It was actually due to something that unfortunately happened to me in London at the time. Someone sold a story, a photograph that I took on my phone to a national newspaper. And I got a lot of backlash for it because somebody actually stole it from my phone. So this photo went out in the national newspaper, and I was like, and there was backlash of people selling stories against each other, and I just thought, I don't want to be involved in this. Like, I didn't sell the picture, like, it's not me. And that's actually when we had that volcano ash cloud in Iceland. I don't know if you remember, but there was all the planes got grounded because nobody could fly. And I remember being in my apartment in London, and I was walking behind the sofa, and a plane landed, and I said, beep, I'm going to be a pilot. And it was that moment that I go, you know what, I'm going to do something completely different, completely crazy. I was 23 years old. I sued the paper for the copyright issues. I used that money. I thought the best places to learn how to fly airplanes are Florida and Southern California. I'd already been to Florida, so I thought Southern California. Lauren Conrad, here I come. I grew up watching Laguna Hills on MTV, so she is my idol. And kind of came out here and just fell in love with Southern California, did my license, I've flown solo, I've flown a private, single engine airplane all the way to Philadelphia and back, went back to England and did all of my written exams, so finished all of those. And then just, it just wasn't ultimately what I wanted to do forever. It wasn't my passion. But, fortunately, because of all of the jobs that I'd applied for in England, doing little bits of, in a girl band and random jobs here and there, I was able to get a visa to come and work in the States. As an entertainment visa. So I was like, great, this is my opportunity. So you never know when you say yes to something where that's going to lead. And that's why I'm just always an advocate, say yes and figure it out later.
You never ended up getting a pilot job?
I never went to it. So I had the decision when I was in England. I finished all of these, what they call ATPL exams, which is 6 months. You wear like shirt, epaulets, the tie. I was the class rep, So like during the week, I would make sure everybody was like, in class. And at the weekends, I had this apartment with a hot tub in. So I'd have everybody over and we'd have like parties. So like, I kept it fun. I've always been like kind of like a leader. And then it was the opportunity to go, okay, now you have to go to an interview and apply to be in an airline or, what else do you want to do? And I just didn't see myself sitting in an interview, being able to answer the questions and being passionate about it. So although it was an amazing experience, it just ultimately wasn't what I wanted to do forever.
I feel like that's something that really takes guts. Like that's the thing out of your story that I'm like, most people after taking all of those, all of the time, the energy, the money, the training, they would be like, I'm going to do this because I invested and not listen to their gut. How did you have the courage to be like, well, too bad. I spent money on that. I'm still not going to do it.
Because I'm not going to spend even more time doing something that I don't love. And that's, guys, if you're doing something that you don't love, don't go, well, I've invested all this time. You're wasting more time by doing it again. So for me, I go, well, a light bulb moment went off. And I'm going, well, I'm not going to waste another day doing something that I don't love. So for me, it was like, okay, great. I'm glad that I found this out now than doing it for another 5 years.
Right. So then you get to the US and you have your entertainment visa. So what were your first steps? I think that's another thing that's not talked about enough is that major life change. We just moved from Oklahoma to LA a couple months ago. We're still settling in.
Major change.
And it's huge. People don't, I understand why people don't do it. So you moved across the ocean, which is just kind of mind-boggling. So how did you get settled in? How did you find your new routine? How did you find a new community here?
Yeah, that definitely took a while. I remember though I couldn't get my social security for like 6 weeks. So to be able to rent a car or lease a car, you needed to have your social security. But I'm the type of person, I'm like, I'm just going to get out there. I'm going to go to Hollywood. I'm going to go to these auditions, use my British accent. So I rented a car, the cheapest that I could find. It was a bright red Fiat. One of those terrible things. I remember getting a parking ticket the first day in LA, like everybody does, because the sign says you can park here, but they're not on Tuesdays, but you can between 1 and 3, but not if it's the second Monday of the second Tuesday. Yeah. You're like, I don't even know what the sign says. I'm gonna get a ticket.
The curb is green. The curb is green. Green means yes.
And it says you can park for 20 minutes.
I know, it's ridiculous.
So that happens. If you come to LA, then just budget to get a lot of tickets.
Yep.
And I just started to go for auditions and castings and just kind of went for it. And I was able to get a job on one of the YouTube channels. They'd been running for like 6 weeks, didn't like their host. And it was a workout channel, and I didn't really know anything about YouTube. To be honest, I didn't even watch YouTube. And I got the job with them and said that I had my personal training license when I didn't, but I was going to go and get it the week after, which I did. It just kind of like went from there. After kind of like a year and a half, I was able to find more people in the nutrition company that I work with. They've been a huge part of the community because finding people who like health and fitness and who are a good influence is always the most struggling part, I feel, because I was in a kind of a toxic environment when I first got to America. Just people that I was maybe hanging around with weren't the best for me. Probably because I brought that over from England. And so once, a year and a half in, I found an amazing community with Herbalife Nutrition, and they've been able to help me and really, give me be the individual that I am today.
So then you switched and launched your own YouTube channel. So how did you part ways? Because I know a lot of people are afraid if you have a big brand partnership, it can be scary to leave that behind and go out on your own.
Absolutely. I mean, I was just so excited. When I first started doing X-Hit, it wasn't for the money. And I don't even do things for the money. It's just for the excitement and the passion. And that's, if you do something you love, you'll never have to work another day in your life. And when I first started X-Hit, I got paid $40 per episode. Right? It wasn't like about that. And we grew so fast. We filmed for like 18 months. I think my top video now is at like 49 million views. Wow. It was filmed in my apartment with like my 2 dogs. And after 18 months, they just said, we're just not filming anymore. That was it. I was like, no, like we're on to something. But I didn't ask for a pay rise. I didn't ask for anything. I just said, please, can we keep filming? Because I was just loving it. And they like tried a few things, and they weren't really interested in building a community and building a YouTube channel. It was more for just cash, right, basically, which I have a bigger heart, than that. So after about a year, I was doing my Herbalife business. I was growing that. I was working with a mentor. I got amazing results on the product. And after a year, I got the confidence finally to do my own channel, because I didn't know how I was going to compete with something. So you got to start again from 1 view, 2 view, 3 view, 1 subscriber, 2 subscriber. And there was no link from that X-Hit to me. There was all I say is my name. They didn't credit me. I'm not in the descriptions. There's nothing. So it took a year to get my confidence, and for people to keep saying, are there going to be new videos? Are there going to be new videos? Then I'm in this amazing, Herbalife community of people getting results and people saying, you can do this, like the power of the positive mind and all of these amazing things. I thought, you know what? God, I can do this. If I came to America at 23 to learn how to fly an airplane and flew solo, I can do this.
Yeah.
After a year, I was like, okay, let's do this. I was kind of having a lot of my videos just closed, just not open to the public. And it was just slowing down my growth and then I just let all those videos free for everybody to access. And I think it's 3 years this year that it's been live in March. It's been amazing. It's just been the best journey.
And it is huge and just impressive, and your videos are so fun. And I just wondered, I'm on YouTube, I know how it is, but health is so competitive and so saturated. And anybody watching this thinks the same thing. Whatever industry you're in, they're thinking about how saturated it is. Right? Like there's way too many, I could never stand out. So did you have to get over a mental game about how can I stand out as a fitness YouTuber? Or did you just do you? It's so amazing to me that you grew so quickly in such a short amount of time. 3 years in YouTube time is just not very long.
Yeah.
So how do you stand out?
I think the thing is, if you're doing YouTube, you've got to be you, because people are going to follow you for being you. If you try and be somebody else, then you're going to create a different kind of audience. Like, people are going to follow you just because of who you are. And I think that if there's so many other people being successful, I think it just validates even more that you can be successful as well, because it gives you more proof that this person's doing it, this person. I love it. Like, I watch, other fitness people all the time, and I pick ideas from them. I go, well, if they can do it, I can do it. I don't think, well, they've done it, there's no room for me, because that's just the wrong mindset to have. It's like, wow, if this person's already done it, I just have to duplicate or copy what they did and make it my own. And, there you go. That's what the great thing is about life, is that you've already got somebody who's proven that they can do it. Why don't you just follow them too?
Yeah, great. I love that attitude. So tell us what it was like that first year growing your channel. Were you shooting videos every day? Were you responding to comments every 5 seconds?
It's so funny. I love how much it's grown. And I work all the time, but I love it. From the moment I wake up in the morning, I'm on my phone. I work weekends. I work during the night. So when I first started, I had a camera. I had a Sony camera. It was $150. It was one of those flip-up ones, which I did not know that you could flip the actual thing around. So I'm not joking. I would set up the camera. I'd film it myself. I was actually able to film at my Herbalife mentor's house. So they had this huge, beautiful property. So I was really fortunate to have that. So I would run into the shot, check that I was in shot, right? Go back, play it, see that my arm wasn't missing. And then I think it was 6 months in, I realized that you could flip it up. So you're always learning something, from the tiniest things. I was like, that would have saved me a lot of time. So yeah, I was filming the videos, I was editing them, I was replying back to YouTube, to Facebook, I was creating blogs, I was creating a website. I mean, I was doing everything. And now I have, 3 years later, because of the amount of work that I've done, and there's no job that somebody does in my office that I haven't done, that I can't teach someone to do. Like, you've got to do everything. You've got to do a bit of everything so that you know how your business runs and how you want it to run. So now I have, there's 9 office staff, but I have an office down in Huntington Beach.
Wow.
I have an outsourced editor. I have, management and PR and a team. But I really think it's important that I've employed people, because my vision is so huge of what I want to be able to create. Like, I can only do so much, but I want to roll people into my vision. So now I've got 8 or 9 girls working for me in the office, and we have so much fun. Like, that's the best part.
I love that, and I think a lot of people watching who are maybe authors or YouTubers or speakers, they want to grow, but how did you start hiring? Like, how do you begin growing your team? What's your advice on hiring people?
Yeah, so I just do a reach out, say, hey, I'm going to give you 1 month internship, and it's, maybe it's like 8 hours a week. It's nothing crazy, but I'm going to give you experience. Like, hey, if you're interested in, learning more about social media or writing blogs or editing videos or filming stuff, like, come with me for a month. Let me see how we work together, how we gel. Are you excited about this? I need you to be excited about the brand. Mm-hmm. It is my brand, but it's our brand, mm-hmm. right? So the girls in my office all have their own Instagram accounts too that have, Ashley Loves Fitness or Greta Fit Girl, and they're actually posting stuff about the brand and about what they're doing. So they take ownership of it, mm-hmm. because I don't want it just to be about me. It's not Rebecca Louise, it's Team Rebecca Louise or Rebecca Louise HQ. Mm-hmm. So, when you're looking to employ someone, like, find someone who just wants to learn from you. It doesn't matter if you've got 10,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers, like, enroll people into your vision and get them excited about what you're doing. Mm-hmm. That's what I really do, especially with, a lot of my nutrition coaches as well. It's like, hey guys, like, this is what I'm doing. Do you want to be part of it? Yeah. And if you're doing something great and you're positive and you're nice to be around, people are like, I don't even care what you're doing. I have people that go, I don't know what you just said, but you're excited and you've made me excited. Yeah. I'm signing up, right? And that's kind of what I do, is I just cast a vision so that people want to be part of what I'm doing.
Yeah, I love that. So how did you change the mentality from, I'm a YouTuber who makes videos and posts them on the internet, to I'm actually a brand? Now you have online courses, you have something, a live workshop coming up.
Yep.
So, when did you start to think, I could make a product, I could go beyond just making videos?
Well, I think I've always had in my mindset that I've had the Rebecca-Louise.com URL since I was like 20 years old. So I think in the back of my head, I've always seen a bigger picture of like having my own brand. So a lot of times, it's great with YouTubers or, influencers, and they do a lot of brand deals. And that's fine. However, you are letting somebody else dictate when you get paid. Mm-hmm. And I'm not, like I said at the beginning, like, I don't like someone else being in charge of when I'm going to get paid, right, or when I can fly to England to be with my family. I want to be solely in control. So yes, it's a lot more work. It's a lot more work writing your own blogs and, creating your own merchandise and running your own retreats and creating your own programs. But I want people to come onto my website and be like, oh, Rebecca Louise. I don't want to be like, oh, here's this product that I make, or that I'm, this is this bar or whatever, and like, here you go, or like, this is this shampoo or whatever. Like, that they come and go, those kind of like brand deals. So for me, I wanted to be like, I want to create a brand, and then if another brand wants to work with me and it's a long-term partnership, then I'm open to that. But I did quite a few brand deals last year, and I think I sort of lost myself, because I was like, well, it's really easy. I could just make this quick video here. And it's good to get some cash flow going. I think it's definitely a good thing to start off with. But then you always want to think about what the bigger picture is. Like, okay, you want to create your own merchandise. Like, we have merchandise coming out in about 3 months' time. We've got a retreat at the end of this month. We have our summer series. We have an app. They're all stuff that's going to be long term. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how I've always done, like, a little bit of cash flow, doing a few brands here and there, but making sure that I'm very particular with what I work with. But then also creating my own brand. And the great thing about Herbalife Nutrition is that, I'm married to one nutrition company, and I can make, the income for the rest of my life. It's not just, a one-off like product, sale. It's something that I'm going to be able to do forever. And it actually helps more people. And I work one-on-one with people to get the results. So it's not just selling somebody a product. It's like, I'm going to get you this product, but I'm also going to help you lose weight. So I find it's like it's a better thing just to have, like, okay, what's your bigger vision of your brand?
And then how did you, like, your first online course? Because basically you're saying, when you started to take control on your own, that was your online courses, right? Your own products, your own programs.
Yes.
So what was the first one? Was it successful right away? How do you
Yes.
advice for doing the
Okay,
first
so
one?
I had my very first subscription model. I would sell like videos like here and there, and like 2017, 2016, like 30-minute workout. But then what I created was a 30-day get fit plan. So it was a different workout every day, Monday to Saturday, and on Sunday there was recipes. It used to be 10-minute videos every single day, and this was about 2 years ago. I think it was actually just before I started my YouTube channel, so 3 years ago. And I was keeping everything closed. So I ran that subscription model for like 6 months. And someone said to me, Rebecca, like, you need to get yourself out there. You need to like share the content. Because so many people are worried about like, I don't want to give away free content. I don't want to give this away. Guys, you've got to give stuff away. You've got to give stuff away so that people like feel like they want something more from you. And then they're loyal fans, and then they're actually going to purchase something. So I, get rid of everything that, they can watch everything. And then I just let the YouTube channel grow for a year. And then after a year, I was like, I'm going to bring this calendar thing back. Like I believe in it. It's awesome. So now it's how much it's evolved. It's now 40 minutes of workout, Monday to Saturday. They get 15 recipes per month. There's a motivation video. There's an exclusive playlist, and they can get it all on the app, which is on iOS and Android as well. So also now, in the last 2 months, the most exciting part is it electronically tracks your progress. So once you've done the workout, you click complete workout, and you'll go back and you'll see your calendar, and it'll give you a little tick mark, because people like that, like recognition and the reward. So they'll show the little tick marks, and then we do a prize every month. So this last month was an iPad. So anybody who completed it, posted it on Instagram, tags me, and then we give out an iPad to one of the winners. So that's how it's evolved. It's $3.99 a month, so it's really small. You start off with 1 subscriber, and now we're a lot more, a couple of thousand subscribers.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
But I mean, making an app seems so overwhelming. Was that the
Oh my
biggest
goodness.
project of your life?
I felt like I gave birth, because it was 9 months, and it was. You got to realize going into whatever technical stuff I've learned a lot with like working with web developers, and there's a lot of different kind of web developers out there that maybe have different kind of standards to you, or maybe they talk to you in the jargon, like tech language that they don't want you to understand. So you have to know that going into it, you're going to get a product at the end. Add 6 months to it. Add 6 months, add no sleep, add not working at working at weekends and evenings, and know that you're gonna get the product. Me and one of my assistants, we worked together for like 9 months to get a new website out and an app, and it was a nightmare. I think I would give a medal to my boyfriend for staying with me, because I was a nightmare. I was stressed. It was worth it. But that's just what it is, because the universe is testing you. It's kind of like this, like, how much do you want it? Do you really want it, Rebecca? Do you really want it? Like, oh, you're so close. I'm like, I can keep seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, but the universe is going to test you, because otherwise everybody would have an app, and everybody would have a YouTube channel if it was that easy. So you guys have got to know that it's just the universe testing you. How much do you want it? So when you get something that says, okay, like, no, it's pushing you off the way, you need to go, right, no problem, because I really want it, so I'm going to find the solution.
Yep.
So always being solution orientated around, rather thinking, God, I've got so many problems.
Yeah.
If you've got problems, it's a good thing. It means you're working.
Okay, well, I feel like you may or may not be the Energizer Bunny, and you're just so full of energy and passion. And you mentioned your boyfriend, and I'm just imagining what life must have been like when you were doing the website and the app at the same time, and you're just go, go, go. So how did you learn how to, prioritize your relationship, make space for you guys to have time together, learn how to unplug? What's your relationship advice for people who are goers?
Right, well, my boyfriend I'm the up and down one, as you can probably see. He is a lot more mellow, so it kind of works. And what I do is I did tell him, I said, look, this is the time I'm going to be spending doing this. Like, I want this is my vision. It's going to have an end date. So I think if you prepare people, because if you just go off and like start doing something you haven't let somebody know, it's like, well, where did you go? But I said, look, can I have permission to go off and do this? And it's going to be weekends, it's going to be evenings. Like, is that okay with you? And obviously he's going to be like, of course. And then I ask him, hey, can I have your help? Would you help me? What person's going to say like, no, I'm not going to help you. Yeah. So would you help me? Say, great. Like when I've had a busy day or whatever, like, let's just have some fun. And, we're at a point now where 8 o'clock we put our phones on airplane mode. So it's like, it's turn off. When he's at work, he works as a firefighter paramedic down in Newport. So when he's at work, I mean, it's great for me because I just get to work all day. But like when he is there, I do need to make a point of like being present with him. And you do have to do that. You have to be completely present in your business when you're doing that. Then you have to be completely present in your relationship when you're at that point.
And you just mentioned off camera that he's launching his own YouTube channel, right?
He
gonna start
is.
a fitness channel. But do you feel like you're you're the one who did it first. Are you kind of like his boss a little bit?
Well, I'm guiding him. I like to feel like I'm guiding him, and if he's smart, he'll listen to my advice.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And any YouTuber watching this.
Right, and that's the thing, it's a different dynamic, and we've traveled the world over the last 18 months filming different workouts in different countries. So we've been to the Galapagos Islands, we've been to Bali, Madrid, Greece and Maldives, amazing places. And I think over the last year and a half, we've set up, I bought all the equipment, and we're set up. He's just thought, well, hang on a second, why don't I just jump in afterwards and do a video?
Yeah.
And I said, he decided to do it about a month ago, and I was like ecstatic, because I get so excited about doing things as a team, and I'm always like, yeah, we get to do this together.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I think sometimes he thought, well, this is my thing and this is her thing. But I think in a relationship, let's have fun together. Let's do this. So I'm really excited about his new YouTube channel. So Corey Scott Fitness, you've got your very first plug-in. Congratulations.
Well, you've given us so much great business advice. I want to end with, obviously, she is a nutrition and fitness guru. So give us, for people who are strapped thin, they're busy, they're go lives, what is the number one thing you would tell people to get started, to go to the next level of health and finally get healthy?
Well, I love helping people with their breakfast in the morning, because most people really struggle with that. They either have nothing, they have, cereals, they have, coffee or orange juice, all like carbs and sugar. So first thing I always do is get someone started on my healthy, Herbalife shake. It's got all the nutrients that your body requires. It's got the vitamins, the protein, the good carbs, the good fats. And I also have my Herbalife tea in the mornings, which is just boosting my metabolism. It gives me energy, kind of why I'm always so much energy. So for me, it's getting someone started on the breakfast, because it's going to maintain your blood sugar level, and you're also going to make the right choices throughout the rest of the day. And just getting prepared, failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
Yeah.
If you're out and about and you need to grab something, have something already prepared that you've done at home, and never go shopping hungry, because you're going to pick out the worst things.
Yes, true story. Okay, well, this has been awesome. Thank you so much. We'll be right back after this with Fast Facts.
All right, guys, I wanted to ask you, if you're enjoying this interview, if you would show some love. You could give it a thumbs up, you can take a screen grab and give me a shout out on Instagram. You can share it with a friend who you know will love it. The Kelsey Show is brought to you totally free for two reasons. One, I work my face off as a motivational entertainer. I'm an international keynote speaker. You can actually book me to speak at your event, your conference, your meetup, your book club, your kid's baptism. I'm here for it. Just go to kelseyhumphreys.com. There's a link there on the homepage. And two, viewers like you who support me by buying my books and limited edition swag and all that kind of stuff that can be found on the shop page. Again, just go to kelseyhumphreys.com and you'll find it there. Let's get to the goods on how we take insights from such a super successful person and apply it to our, everyday lives. So here are my top few keys to success for the rest of us from my interview with Rebecca Louise. Number one, be willing to let go of past endeavors. We know in our gut when something isn't for us, when it's just not working. So even if you've invested a lot of time and energy and money, be willing to let go of that if you want to find your true calling. Number two, be willing to experiment. I love that she got her first gig for YouTube, and at the time she didn't even really know or understand what YouTube was or how it worked, but that is what opened the door to get her to where she is today. Part of being willing to experiment may mean joining a network marketing company. Before you all leave haterade comments about how you feel about network marketing, know that it does work really well for a lot of people. And for her, she built an entire brand outside of that and uses it as a complement to what she's doing. Another great interview to learn about how to build your own brand while doing network marketing is my interview with Lindsay Teague Moreno. So just know that that can work for you. That might be the answer for you, or it might be part of what you're meant to do. Number three, be willing to go where the action is. I can finally say I'm practicing what I preach here because we just moved to Los Angeles because I want to be in entertainment. And this is where entertainers go. I also talked about this in my interview with Jeff Goins, and he talked about going to Nashville because that's a big publishing hub and it helped him as a writer. He also talks about even if you're not going to move to a new city, you may want to find a scene within the city that you live. Number 4, be mindful of your interests and instincts. If you've followed me for a while, you know I have something called the common thread exercise, where you list out everything you love and have been good at and all of those traits of those activities since childhood, the things that you liked about certain jobs, the things that you love doing as a hobby, and find common threads between all of those things to help you find what you're meant to do. So think about how you are naturally inclined when you're trying to figure out what kind of career you want or what kind of business you want to build. Number 5, be willing to put in the hours. There is just no way around hard work if you want to find success in your life. In every area of your life, you're going to have to put in the hours. So be willing to put in the work if you want to see the payoff. Number 6, be open to success for you and everyone. This is a theme in my interviews, the attitude of abundance, that there's more than enough success for everyone, that if someone else has done it, you can do it too, that we're not competing with other people, we're only competing with ourselves. If someone else has done it, you can do it too. Number 7, be yourself in all your endeavors. This is true for YouTube, but it's true really in everything. If you are not being your authentic self and bringing your whole self to whatever you're doing, you're not going to be able to sustain the amount of work it's going to take to reach success. And lastly, be persistent in your search. I know when I interview people, guys, they're at the end of their trek to find their calling. They've already found their calling. They are massively successful. But if you research and learn about these people, most of them had course corrections along the way. You know, some of them changed careers many times or had multiple failed startups. So don't give up because of 1, 2, or even 3 failures. Be persistent, because I can tell you personally, it's worth it.
All right, we're back. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Let's do
Answer
this.
as fast as you can. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Coffee or tea?
Always tea.
What kind?
Herbalife chai tea.
What's your Starbucks order?
I don't do Starbucks. I'm always on my chai teas.
I knew you were going to say that. Early bird or night owl?
Both.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Wine or beer?
Wine.
What kind?
Port.
Pancakes or waffles?
Always pancakes.
Scrabble or charades?
Okay, I'm terrible at Scrabble because I can't spell anything, so charades.
All right. What's the wallpaper on your cell phone?
It's my dog, Alfie.
What is the last thing you remember Googling?
How old do chihuahuas live?
That's a good one. Recent book you read?
The power of the positive mindset.
How about fiction? Have you read any fiction?
Don't. I always read personal development books.
One word you're guilty of saying too often?
Oh, I'm probably swearing.
Who's the last person that you called or texted?
My boyfriend.
What was the last awkward situation you were in?
Telling a girl in the office not to eat that kind of protein bar because it wasn't very good for her, and I didn't realize that she had one with her.
That's great. Last vacation you took?
Hiking up the Himalayas.
Oh, awesome. Hobby, if you have one?
Helping people get healthy.
So no hobby. That's your work too. What is one bad habit you're working on?
My phone. I need to put my phone out at some point because I really will have a hand like this by the time I'm 25.
Ice cream flavor?
Oh, chocolate.
Guilty pleasure TV show?
Peaky Blinders. But that's not really guilty pleasure, is it? But
no, but
I like anything on like Netflix. Don't really watch much any TV, but Netflix series.
They're so good. Favorite snack?
Herbalife protein bar.
What is your jam right now?
God, my jam. Miley Cyrus, the USA song. I love that. It just makes me. What is it called? When she like comes to the USA, I'm like, that was me. Yeah.
I get it.
Driving down
like
PCH with that song on. I'm like, that's me, Miley.
Okay, what's your biggest pet peeve?
People saying that they're going to do something then they don't.
I feel like that might be mine as well. And what is your boyfriend's biggest pet peeve that you do?
I'm too intense.
I get that as well. I feel like people say that about me. Okay, so tell us, what is your next pursuit?
Okay, my next pursuit is we've got a retreat in Thailand coming at the end of this month in Koh Samui, so excited about that. We have our summer series that's going to be starting in July the 1st, so an 8-week program where people can join us and get involved with our community. And obviously we've got that app out as well, so every month there's a new 30-day program. So there's so much things. We've got merchandise as well coming out, which I'm so excited about.
So awesome.
Yeah, it's a